Cut to me playing all the video games,
So you
getting
hadn't
really
played them before.
invested. What? I
You hadn't
hadn't
played.
played them before. No, I wish I could say that I had, but I should be honest. I hadn't played them before, but I played them all really fast.
I played them all really fast. Played them all really fast.
Listen up, everybody. I have some news. All I can do right now is put on a brave face. It's over. We are screwed. This is the worst.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and I'm back for another Walking Dead video. So in today's video, my friends, we're going to be discussing Skybound Games Expo 2022, which was the discussion of the games category for Skybound, and we got a lot of information, not just in regards to The Walking Dead as a whole. The whole process with the atrocious comic book / book series, how Tilly Walden got involved, the process, a lot of details involved with that, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be playing a lot of stuff here that you guys might be disappointed, might be angry hearing. Like, that intro is just the beginning of what debacle this is going to be. I want to reiterate the point, please, no harassment to Skybound or Tilly. Criticism is fine. I want to make that very, very clear. But I have a lot to say the least, that this is, we're nearly here, guys. It's 18 days away. Clementine Book 1 is nearly here. I'll have details on my plans very, very soon. We might be doing a marathon, wink, wink, and some other cool things in the coming days to get ready, but I'll leave it at that. So this will mainly be discussing all the stuff in the live stream and what is to look forward to. In the last video, I discussed the potential of The Walking Dead's future. I highly recommend you take a watch on that. That was some stuff I discussed from the stream, where Skybound kind of addressed the future low-key. And also, Summer Game Fest is in 5 days. Now, why would I be talking about this randomly? Skybound Games is a partner. Skybound decided not to show anything in regards to the game or announce a new game at this expo. Maybe this might be the reason why. This is their one and last chance for me. You know, they botched the expo. This is the chance, though. Maybe they did this for a reason, that they're going to do this at a big game show instead of just at, you know, their expo thing. So, is there a chance Season 5 or a new game gets announced? It's possible, but we shall see, of course. If you guys do enjoy this video, please be sure to drop a like. Subscribe if you're new. Join about the near 50% of people are subscribed by hitting the red subscribe button. Be sure to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my Walking Dead videos and all the Clementine Book 1 stuff coming up this month before its release on June the 22nd. Join about near 100,000 people that got that bell hit, and 50% of people are subscribed if you haven't already. And follow me on social media down below. Stay connected. We have a lot that we'll be tweeting, posting on social media in the coming days, so stay tuned for that. All right, my friends, let's get straight into it.
I don't think I would be an obvious first choice for zombie comics of any kind. I don't
Really?
think. Yeah, I mean, if you look at my past work before Clementine, it's pretty gay, it's pretty dreamy. This is not to say that you can't have gay and dreamy Walker stories. Please see Clementine Book 1. But I don't know, I never really thought I would work on any mainstream properties. I just sort of thought I had carved out this little niche for myself in indie comics.
I don't think I'd be an obvious first choice. She's even saying it herself. Listen, I feel bad for this girl in a way, that she's going to get ripped a new one because of just the situation Skybound's put her on. And I feel bad because personally, people have told me they've read her other books and stuff and they say it's pretty good. But what it seems like she's doing is taking her past works, gay, dreamy kind of stuff, and just shoving it in the forefront of Clementine. What the Telltale series has always done, and I will say this to my deathbed, is they handled Clementine's bisexuality perfectly. So well done. The romances and everything. The final season did it perfectly. The ships, of course, that was a little, toxic part of it. But I feel either way you went, even if you weren't single too, it was handled in such an elegant manner. Tilly Walden is just going to shove her agenda and her specific things that she writes with her books into this. Like I said, I don't have any hatred towards Tilly. In a way, I feel bad for her that she's being put in this position. But it's Skybound's fault for doing this. You should have hired someone that obviously... If she thinks she's not the obvious choice, then maybe you should have picked someone from Telltale or Ad Hoc or someone that's been involved with the story or...
But I remember it was the summertime, and I think I was lying on the floor, and it was really hot in my apartment, and I saw an email in my inbox about Clementine, and I was like, what? And it was at a moment when I really didn't have a lot going on with comics. I had really wanted to take a break, and I was resting and just sort of like recharging myself. And the folks at Skybound reached out to me about potentially working on this project. Cut to me playing all the video games.
So you hadn't played them before?
What? I hadn't played them before. No, I wish I could say that I had, but I should be honest. I hadn't played them before, but I played them all really fast. And season 1 was kind of hard, actually, in the initial game. I think I died a lot, especially in the beginning.
Skybound. WTF. The more and more I start learning about this entire involvement, this entire comic book / book trilogy that's going to happen, I'm not even really going to be mad at Tilly Walden probably by the end of this. I'm going to be much more mad at Skybound. Explain to me why they just randomly out of nowhere, like, hey, Tilly Walden, we'll email you. They didn't think to think anybody. I mean, again, I don't know if they reached out to anyone from Telltale or Ad Hoc. I don't know. But this entire situation just seems so messed up. I never played the video game, so Skybound's first idea to continue the story of The Walking Dead final season is to email a award-winning writer that has never heard, well, I don't know if she never heard of the games, but she never played them, and she played them very fast? What? A complete, utter dumpster fire is on our doorstep, and I feel bad for this woman. She's going to get ripped a new one, because I feel Skybound just put her in a position where, you know, listen, she's not free of fault, don't get me wrong, but there is some, this is just a, I'm really at a loss of words right now, I'm sorry guys. But no wonder she has Clementine leave AJ. No wonder every freaking thing that she does in the games is completely contradicted in 12 freaking pages of a crap book, comic book. No wonder. It makes perfect sense because she rushed through the games just to get an idea of the story. But she's claimed to play them multiple times. What, did she rush through them?
Approach that. What are the things you had to deal with for that?
It's a great question. The switch of mediums was one that really stuck in my mind for a while. Like, how do we deal with the fact that we don't have Clementine moving around on the screen, that we can't sort of be her?
Yep.
There is a certain distance, I feel like, to reading a character in a book compared to, like, playing from her perspective. And also, in the games, you were making choices for her. So also, she changes as a character in a book because it's me and my editor and Skybound that are sort of making the decisions about like where she goes and what she does. And I sort of landed on first the idea that her story is similar to every story in an apocalypse, and also every story ever, in that she's had a lot of bad stuff happen to her. And she's been through a lot, and growing up is the process of healing from those wounds and deciding where to go next.
So perhaps this gives you more of a backstory on what exactly Tilly has planned. So she's discussing the switch to mediums between, obviously it's switched between a game to a comic, and you know, the whole process about how things are gonna be different. You know, you're not in control of Clementine anymore. You have to, you know, look at it from a space point of view. There's not choices involved. This is, again, Tilly's kind of explained that this is in her hands more often than not, and she's taking her experiences and just putting them all in. And I'm pretty sure it's pretty obvious. I think anyone that's probably read her past works could probably tell that her past works are a huge inspiration in this. But this is not a game series. that you can just freaking throw your own life or your experiences into. This is a set piece series that already has had a continuum of a storyline, and now it's going wherever she wants it to go, and that's, I just really can't, I don't like that. And she's talking about the trauma that Clementine, you know, growing up, being an adult, all the trauma. Is that basically insinuating that Clementine's left AJ in the school because of trauma? Nobody's gonna believe that because of everything they've been through in the games. Years of trauma, years of bad things happen. Crap, you know? What the hell?
You know, it's actually not too different from my other graphic novels, because they were, I feel like part of what they asked me to do was like go just sort of like be yourself in these books. And I really appreciate how much creative freedom I've had. So the way we've been doing it is, and the way we did it for book 1, and it's now happening for book 2, is everyone sort of agrees on an outline that I write. And after we do that, I draw the book chapter by chapter, and every week I send the chapter to my editor. And every week he's usually just like, fine. Only sometimes is he like, whoa, what's going on here? Let's get on the phone. Let's talk about this.
And you're like, too late.
What is this plot?
It's done.
Yeah, I mean, and so far it really hasn't happened much in book 2. I feel like it happened a little bit in book 1 when it came to, and I think that was part of just the experience on the project, is I wasn't yet totally used to Clementine, to this style of working. But now it's amazing in a series how much you find your rhythm. And it's been really wonderful to see the difference between book 1 and book 2. And chapter by chapter, my editor's been like, great, thumbs up. And then after the book is done is when Robert Kirkman usually reads it. And last book, he was just like, yay. And I think he had a couple notes, and I'm hoping this book for 2 more thumbs up and a couple notes. So really, the collaborative aspect feels more like I'm running a race, and everyone is like, sort of like has water and is kind of helping me find my direction. And they're like, don't go that road, Tilly, that road is dangerous. Go down this road. And I'm like, okay, I'll go down this road. She won't die. It's okay. I would never. Everyone else is up for grabs, though. Let's be real.
It's interesting
how the collaboration between Tilly and Skybound is gone. So what I basically took note of here is creative freedom. Skybound basically said, hey, Tilly, you can do what you want. Of course, she has an editor that I guess looks over her stuff. I guess his name's Alex. And they go through this. So she sends the chapters weekly, and the editor says, okay, good, or hey, whoa, we need to change something. So supposedly what I've interpreted here is that book 1, there was a lot of issues. So if book 1 ends up hitting the dumpster fire, I think we can make 1 or 2 assumptions why. You know, that she wouldn't have her quote-unquote rhythm with everything. Now, she said everything with book 2 seems better. So is book 2 going to be much better? I mean, if book 1 sucks, I don't think we're going to really give a damn about book 2, because the damage is done, in my personal opinion, if book 1 blows. So, you know, then she writes the chapters by week, gets them all done, you know, writes them up. But the whole process seems rushed. She describes it as running a race. And it seems like, oh yeah, she's, hand me water. Like, I think more of this is a rush situation. And at the end of the book, she handed it to Robert Kirkman, and Robert Kirkman can write his notes and give the okay. But based on what Robert Kirkman's, you know, tweeted and what he said, he's basically said, oh, Tilly's a trailblazer, she's doing amazing, you know. Like I said, no personal hard feelings towards Tilly, but she's not done amazing. I'm sorry. Nobody in the community thinks that. Personally. Well, at least he said Clementine won't die. So, there's that. One positive out of this entire thing we could take is that line at the end I showed there.
The amount of work is pretty unbelievable, because we want these books to come out each year. So I'm working as hard as I can to get book 2 out on time for next summer.
I didn't realize these were yearly. That's a
knock on wood. Oh, there's wood behind me.
like you went for your head first.
What'd you say?
I didn't realize these were once a year. That's a huge. That's a 3-year sprint, Tilly. That's huge.
I mean, if anyone deserves a sprint, it's Clementine. I think, I mean, you never know, so it's what we're aiming for, but I think I can do it, and It really has been a lot of fun so far.
Well,
So she describes this as a sprint. This is a rush. We got to get this out. A book every summer, guys. That's their plan. But I think she wasn't sounding as confident at the end there that they might get this through. Now, they're already working on book 2. They're at the climax or whatever right now. I'm telling you, book 1 flops and the community has an outrage. This could be it. I'm not saying, listen, I don't fault this woman at all. I don't fault the process with this. I just think if book 1 flops, there's no reason to continue this, and Skybound should explore other avenues. And we could just call this a failed attempt at fan fiction. Really, that's what it could be broken down into, simply. And I do hope they highly do consider it if the sales for book 1 don't do good. Because let's be honest, people can be mad all they want. Skybound doesn't care. As long as they make money, they'll make as many books as they want. So speak with your wallets if you want book 1 to be it.
Don't say anything about book 2 and 3 because it is still yet to come, but I don't think it's going to be what people expect. I also think that book 2 is pretty different from book 1 in a lot of exciting ways, and then book 3 will hopefully bring it all together. But
that's terrifying.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just putting myself in your shoes. I need
is.
to write a 3rd book for this series that gives Clementine not some sort of ending for, not forever, but for at least for this series.
An ending,
Yeah.
a new beginning. I mean, there's so much. There's so much, but that is when I'll be putting. But no, not my hat in the ring. The opposite of that, taking my hat out of the ring.
I did it. I'm done.
For her story. These 3 books are my time with her, so I'm trying to see it as a really precious experience.
Alright, so this is it. It's confirmed. If the 3 books do happen, this will be it for Tilly Walden. Tilly Walden will be done after book 3. So at least we know that for certain. So this won't become like a frickin' Marriott of a million books to come. But this is a lot of nerves, though, for me, because Tilly Walden gets to decide how this ends. And potentially, if a game is made after this, Tilly Walden could basically decide the precipice. Does she go back to the school with AJ? Does she have Clementine go somewhere completely different? Does she even go back? Because listen, that has to be the ending. Tilly Walden, you have to have Clementine go back to the school. We won't give any damn about what happened in these 3 books as long as Clementine goes back to the school with AJ. That's all we care about at the end of the day. That's all I want. Because, listen, as long as nothing bad happens where it changes Clementine's character too drastically, you know, we could just basically pretend, like I said, this was fan fiction. If anything, Clementine's still back at the school with AJ, little stuff happened, whatever. You know, it's basically like another, you know, how they've done time skips between some of the seasons. That's what I'll consider it as. It was just a little time skip that Telltale, you know, never addressed. The 16-month time skip with Krista, for example. Never said anything about it. So we'll never say anything about that. It was like a time skip. So I already went through the first look at book 2 in another separate video. You can check that out. But that's pretty much it that Skybound discussed with Clementine. They showed some merch. I'll throw it up on screen. Yeah, atrocious merch. I don't really have much to say other than I'm not buying it. Yeah, because I don't give a dang about these books and comics. I want game-related merch. Skybound, if you're watching this, come on. That's pretty much all I have to say on that. Now, again, last video I talked about, you know, Sean Kirkman from Skybound, higher up there, talked about potentially, you know, more Clementine stuff on the way, Walking Dead related stuff. We'll have to wait and see on that. Honestly, I'm not, again, saying, yay, it's like, no. We're keeping our expectations low because of what's happened the last couple of years. So, like I said, keep your expectations low, you won't be disappointed. Kratos got a war quote there. So, that's pretty much it. Skybound botched this, in my opinion. And, you know, you guys can leave it down below in the comments. I'm gonna love reading your guys' comments because I feel like you guys are gonna have a lot of interesting things to say based on what I've shown you. But I basically compiled up all that footage for y'all, and pretty much you can, you know, leave comments on what you think. So, if you guys enjoy this, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys very, very soon. We got a lot of stuff, 18 days to go. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day. Peace.
Take it from me, I'd be lost without you. try to run away, but you're running up on me faster, and I could barely breathe. I could